Hello, this is Lee, back once again for another video, and you may have wondered, what am I saying about the WWE series? I made so many videos about them. Well, 2K Games has screwed over the fans for the last time, and they've discontinued the WWE series on the PS3 and the Microsoft Xbox 360. You might say to yourself, well, Lee, come on. It's all Xbox One and PS4 now, so why do you care about these legacy systems? They don't even make new 360s anymore. That's like saying, oh my gosh, Lee, Blu-ray, why are you still buying DVDs? Or why are you still buying Blu-ray? You've got 4K. A lot more people have the old systems, and there was nothing wrong with these games, but they stopped supporting them. So that if you try to go online and enjoy the full features of these games, you can't do it. 2K17, it's gone, it's offline. You can only play it offline. You can't enjoy all those created characters people have made. You can't play multiplayer matches with 6 players, 5 or 6 players. It's only 4 players locally. That's it. So you don't get to enjoy the full breadth of the game that you paid for. And you paid double price if you got all the DLC, which, soon you won't be able to get that either. So it's kind of a bummer. But guess what? WWE games have been around for quite a while on the Xbox 360 and PS3, PlayStation 3. And you've got Smackdown Vs Raw 2007. I started the series with 2006, which was on the PlayStation 2, but 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2011 are actually fully playable online. Even though THQ is kind of out of the picture and 2K has written it off and they're just focusing on 18 and 19, and they end the online support and playability of these games, after 2 years basically, so 2K18 will be gone. I talked to a friend recently and he just said, oh, this game sucks, referring to 18. It's a lot slower. The next-gen versions are a totally different series. Even though they have similar characters and menus and modes, the speed is totally different, the way you do moves is different, the features are different, the My Career mode is a joke, it's boring, it's repetitive, it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, it doesn't simulate an actual career or fantasy career of a WWE superstar, it just doesn't. But you can play the old games still, and so here's what I did. I went out and I bought myself an old used copy of Smackdown Vs Raw 2010, and it's free to play online. You can view the old leaderboards, you can play other players, you just have to find a friend and say, hey, join my game, and you can play together. Some of the DLC I think is, they only had Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't get the community creations. You gotta have an original sealed copy if you want Stone Cold, otherwise you gotta create him yourself. And 2K Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 has a little bit of a downside in that, let's say you create a character and you want to take it online and play against your friend. That character is going to be really low level. You actually have to win matches and rank up. You have to beat the computer or a tackling dummy offline or win matches online to get enough points to get your character up in rank so that he or she is as strong as a regular character. So it's kind of annoying to have to do that. Plus, you can only have 4 players at a time in an online match. And guess what? There's no bots or AI for online matches. So if you want a fatal 4-way, you gotta have 3 friends online to play with. So that's kind of a downside to that game. But then with 2011, there's a little bit of a difference here. You've got to have a copy of the game's manual, which has a CD key. Just like the old PC games, a CD key that you gotta enter, a little code, and it gives you access to the online features, meaning you can play matches online. There's no community creation, sorry, but you can download the DLC, and there's some free DLC, and then there's some other DLC that you have to pay for. I think it's $10 overall, $9.99 Michael, to get everything. But the thing is, you can only play against people who have the same exact DLC, so you might as well not even buy it, unless your friend is gonna buy it. But they need a copy of the game's manual. And each CD key is unique, but as long as you have a copy of the manual, you can buy one online. If you've got it from the store, you're going to have to buy an online pass and buy the free DLC to play that. But get yourself a copy of the manual if you're going to play 2011. 2011 gives you 6 players online, but there is something nice. Okay, sure, it's a downside because if you want to play an Elimination Chamber with 6 players, it's not like 2K14 where you could just hit start and they would fill in AI characters and all the empty slots. You play against bots, CPU characters. Instead, it's got to be all human players. So it's kind of a downside. But if you want to play the online Royal Rumble, yes, an online Royal Rumble with like 20, 30 wrestlers, you can have up to 12 human players. You only need actually 2 human players to start, and the rest are filled in with AI. But then I asked myself, why didn't THQ and Yukes, why didn't they implement this feature for the other game modes? Only for the Royal Rumble. So if you're going to play 2011, unless you can find, 5 friends, you're going to end up playing a lot of one-on-one matches or Royal Rumble. But the Royal Rumble is pretty unique. So, I haven't been on Xbox Live much lately. You may have missed me if you are friends with me on there. But I have 2010 and 2011, and since 2K has killed off the rest of the series for me, those 2 are the wrestling games I'm going to be playing. So if you want to catch me some weekend and send me a message if you own one of those games and want to play, hit me up. Let's play. I wouldn't mind. The games aren't quite as good as 2K14. That was kind of the pinnacle of the series for me. There are some features that are present in this version that weren't present in others, such as you can brawl in offices, you get new weapons that you couldn't use before. A lot of things that were taken out of later versions. The gameplay is a little slower, a little clunkier because you're using a joystick to do various holds instead of buttons, but whatever. Takes some getting used to. I got the strategy guide, so I know how to play. Just haven't had a lot of practice. So if you are one of these high-ranking players, chances are you'll never lose, but I'll still play you. Still enjoy my video games, even if I don't get much time to play them anymore. Unless I'm doing a review. But maybe I'll post some reviews of those games when I get enough time. The single player, Road to WrestleMania, it's kind of interesting. There's a co-op campaign, I think one of them has, and a created character campaign. So, could be worth looking at. So if you're out there and you're kind of a jaded fan, get yourself a copy of 2010, 2011, and go find some friends and let's play. It's cheap. It's really cheap. Just make sure you get a manual if it's 2011, and then we can play. Post your gamer tag, your handle, whatever. Post a message if you like. Alright. Hopefully I'll see you in the ring.